Well, this could possibly be episode 8 of Tall in the Saddle podcast. It's somewhere in that neighborhood, and I told myself I was going to stop counting at 10-ish, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself of welcoming you to the particular episode of Tall in the Saddle podcast. But anyways, we're here, and welcome. Got Jake back with me. We were just going over events and things that we've got coming up, and I wanted to do a little episode and put our brains together and catch everybody up on what we've done in the last couple weeks and what's coming up. And that just jarred my memory that you were gone, not in the podcast last episode.
Last
and gave
week.
me something else to think about, to talk about.
Yeah, I was on the other end of the East Coast.
So let's just get it started. And I'd be remiss if I did not bring up the fact that we are still fundraising and we are still building and we are still rocking and rolling here at the Spirit of Virginia Arena. We've got a lot of things coming up. I want to encourage you to get on the National Center for Healthy Veterans website and look at
healthyveterans.org.
healthyveterans.org. Look at the things that we've got going on, upcoming events, the volunteer Saturdays, the bonfire evening, the fundraisers that we're doing. See how you can become a part of that and support the cause. So now let's get into what's been going on.
What hasn't been going on, Bob?
We're going to talk about a few things. So you start us off, and we just discussed probably 7 things before we turned the cameras on.
Yeah.
So you pick one, and we'll roll with it.
Yeah, honestly, the last 5 minutes of discussing the things that have happened for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks has been, it made me sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah. I am appropriately tired based on what we've done in the last month.
So the last time we did a recap was we had the ribbon cutting event on the September 12th, and we were getting ready for the memorial for Jim Tennant.
Yep.
And then we rolled right into, from that memorial, I actually left right after that memorial service and drove to Brunswick, Maine, to Shining At You Farms, Kim Stone, shout out to Kim, for the evidence-based horsemanship clinic with Martin Black and Dr. Stephen Peters, which was a really incredible experience. So if you guys aren't familiar with evidence-based horsemanship, it's taking the natural horsemanship concepts that we are all familiar with now, thanks to guys like Tom Dorrance, Bill Dorrance, Ray Hunt, Buck Brannaman, Martin Black, all these people that have promoted this natural horsemanship through feel, whatever you want to call it. And it's combining that with the neuroscience of the horse's brain and the chemical cocktail that is produced through these horsemanship practices and proving that they work based on the chemical responses that the horse is undergoing during training. Really, really cool. And it kind of informs your approach, because if you know what the horse is dealing with on a neurochemical level, then you can change the timing of what you do. You can change the amount of pressure that you use because you know what you're trying to achieve on a neurochemical level. Really, 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 really neat and informative and practical, usable stuff.
So 2 things on that for the person who might be watching who that sounded like Hebrew. So the old way, or another way that people would go about starting a horse or dealing with the horse is kind of like, and I don't want to be derogatory, but like the cowboy way or the hard way. And it's not intuitive to what the horse is thinking or feeling or what the horse wants or needs. It's like, get it done by any means necessary.
It's about power.
Overpowering
horse.
Right. Versus creating a relationship, a bond, a team, and working together. So that's the difference between what he was explaining and kind of a different path that still happens today. And some could argue it's still effective, but it
works for some horses if they're compliant enough. But what you end up with is, it kind of works the same way that communism works.
Yeah, submission.
It works through fear and submission. It doesn't actually work through people or the horses being bought in and working as a willing partner.
And the other cool concept about what Jake is talking about is it also will show you things about yourself in that process and teach you something in that process as you start a horse, as you make a horse come along. And you don't get to be it just makes you a bigger, fill in the expletive, if you do
Expletive.
it the old way, if you do it the old way, you're just a harder, more forceful version of yourself to get it done the other way around. Whereas
Yeah.
it's going to expose some, maybe some inadequacy, some weak points in your life as you're trying
It's going
to
to force you to be honest with yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's a neat experience.
Yeah, because you have to leave your own emotions. In order to be effective with this style of horsemanship, you have to leave your own emotions at the door and be self-aware enough to recognize your inadequacies and your mistakes and change or avoid them
Yep.
in order to support the horse so that the horse can be successful.
Right. I will give Jonas 2 picture links to add to this in this part of this deal. One, a picture of the book. Mm-hmm. What's the name of the book?
There's a couple of books involved in this. The intro book would be Evidence-Based Horsemanship.
Is that the blue one?
No, it's the black one with Dr. Stephen Peters and Martin Black. And then the blue one is the Neurobiology of Horsemanship, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that's the deep dive.
We're trying to put 2 links just so the pictures pop up in this part of the podcast. And then I also, either it's Jake or mine, I actually picked up while he was gone, right when you came back, a really neat Martin Black kangaroo Hackmore setup.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a little bit of experience with that. I'm learning as I go with that. It's a new concept for me. So show you what that looks like from the guy he went to the clinic for. So you can see what his gear looks like. Top quality stuff, really nice.
Yep.
Jake's got some stuff too.
MartinBlack.net if you're looking for any kind of quality buckaroo type tack.
Yeah, it's a bunch on there.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience too because I went up there just to audit,
Right.
just to watch on Kim's invitation, and ended up that they had a couple extra horses that they didn't expect in that clinic. It was a colt starting type model, and anyway, long story short, I ended up actually getting to ride in that clinic, which was super educational for me and just a cool opportunity. So not that they'll ever hear this, but Kim and Martin and Dr. Peters, thank you guys for that. Thanks to the other presenters or the other colt starters that were in that. That was a really cool experience to work with you guys, Chris Taharo and Cal Middleton and a couple other guys that were in there. Jason, I can't remember Jason's last name. I have to work on that. Anyway,
You did better than I would have done.
but that was just a really cool experience. I got to work with some neat horses and made a bunch of new friends. So got to see some cool country. You never figured on cowboying in Maine, but that was pretty neat.
There's only 4 people, maybe 5 people that get through my phone in late hours of the night. I have it blocked on purpose. And a friend of ours suggested to Jake that he go through Times Square on his way to Maine. Well, Jake took him up on that and sent us a picture in our little group chat in the middle of the night, and it was still looked busy at like 1
Times
something
Square
in the
at 1
morning.
in the morning, the city that never sleeps,
Oh,
man. It was wild.
We're actually going first week of December to the city for the long weekend and spending the weekend in the city. And it's a neat city to be in and experience and then come on home.
Yeah, I'd like to go there with somebody that actually knows the city.
It helps.
Driving through it on your own, it's doable, but it's one of those deals where you're kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna get out.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
The best way, in my opinion, to do it is if you're going to go see the city, just go stay in the middle of downtown, Uber everywhere, cab everywhere you go, and then just get out when you're ready to get out. But I was really happy for you that you got to go do that. I know that was a really long trip and not easy. I mean, you like road trips more than I do, but it's still a lot to drive and drive back. But what a cool experience. To say you did it.
Yeah, that was neat. That was a good time to kind of clear the mind, get out on the road. It's always good. And then rolled right from that back into the Dalton Darnell 310 Ranch Roping Clinic.
Yes, we did.
Got to have Dalton on the podcast a couple episodes ago, which was super cool. What a great guy.
Yeah.
Great to spend the weekend with him, and just all the folks that showed up for that clinic were fantastic.
You knew a lot already, but I met a lot of really cool people.
Yeah, I knew a lot, but I really got to know a lot of them a lot better. They were kind of people that I had crossed paths with, but hadn't really gotten to know. But it was super fun. What a cool group of folks. And honestly, Well, you talk about it because you I think had a new perspective after that clinic.
So I'd never been to a roping clinic before, and I'd never been a part of a ranch roping event. And of course, it drew people to us from other states even that had different levels of skill set, but it also drew some really handy people here to be a part of that. So I thought it was put together extremely well on our end, not to pat ourselves on the back, but I mean, it was technically our first outside event.
Yep. First clinic we've hosted.
Yeah.
First roping we've hosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a 2-day clinic and then a pro-am roping. So that was fun.
We had live cattle and obviously horses in the arena. We also had roping dummy experience too, part of the beginning part for the different classes. We had different classes set up based on skill level, progressing all the way to, more advanced. I was so happily surprised to see the amount of people horseback in the arena with cattle, with our arena split in half, and it still didn't feel crowded.
Right.
So that was nice for me to see that. Gives me a lot of hope for the future. Because it's hard to put into perspective. You think you have a big arena, but when you set stuff up in it, then you're like, my dad always used to say, like, if you're building a garage or something like that, build it bigger. If you're moving into a house, buy a little bit more house than you almost think you can afford. You're going to fill it up.
Right.
You always wish you had one more bay or one more stall or one more this or whatever. So, it was really fun. I basically kind of took a position of just trying to help facilitate the behind the scenes stuff, but also did a lot of filming and auditing myself.
And judging.
And I got to judge, which was a neat experience. It was like drinking out of a fire hydrant.
You were totally relaxed the whole time.
I was if you know me, I was a little wired up trying to make sure I didn't do anything stupid, but it gave me, that's the best way to learn something. Yeah. Be immersed in it as uncomfortable as you can be, and then you'll get a better appreciation. But let me say this. I've been to other clinics and I've seen other clinics done. Mm-hmm. You would be hard pressed to find a clinician that gives you more than Dalton at a 310 ranch roping.
Yeah.
So if you want a ranch roping event and you can line it up with him, you are money well spent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I almost was more concerned for the people in the class being worn out.
Yeah, those were long days.
Than I was them getting their money's worth, because I was like, you can only swing a rope he can swing a rope. He's preconditioned, but he gave them their money's worth.
Most clinics that I've been to are 9 to 4, maybe.
He started at 8 and didn't stop till
8 to 5. The clinic in Maine was similar. I mean, we went 8 to 4, 8:30 to 5. They were long clinics with a break for lunch. Dalton's clinic went 7:30 to
about the same time.
7:30 to 7:38. Yeah, it was. And that was 7 to 8, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was 7.
It was 7 to 8, and with like a 15-minute break in between classes. Like, I don't even think I'd do to 8.
But then he was at his merch table when he was facilitating people.
Yeah. In the breaks,
ropes.
He was selling ropes and everything else.
I talked him into doing an extra class of wrapping a horn with mule hide.
Yeah. Yep.
And
kind of practical life lesson.
Conned him into that deal, but I think it worked out well because a lot of the mule hides went off the table. So they're like, "Yeah, I probably need that." So
yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of saddles in there that weren't set up for sliding rope. So that's a whole new thing. I mean, if you're gonna do that big loop style of roping, which is what we were looking at, that long rope, slick horn, big loops, which is just, to me, I've done it all. Mm-hmm. Okay, I started with the big loops and the slick horns, and I swore that was all I was ever going to do. Then I got around guys that were out roping me on rubber. They were out roping me tied on. And I was like, well, I got to figure out how to be as handy as they are with what they're doing before I can tell them that I don't want to do it, or that they're stupid.
That as you should.
So I started, I figured out how to rope on rubber. I figured out how to rope tied off, and got handy with both of those. And there's a time and a place and a geography, a topography, a vegetation scenario where all of those things make sense. Yep. For me, having done all of it and seen what it does to my horses, what it does to cattle. Can you handle cattle and be fair to your horse with rubber and with horn knot? Yes, you absolutely can. You don't have to jerk anything around with either one of those if you handle it right. But you have a lot more options with a long rope and a slick horn to be able to help your horse, help them free their feet up so they don't feel like they're stuck or like they can't pull whatever's behind them. And you can obviously handle the cattle a little bit better when you can slide some rope. But it's not the right scenario for everything else. I'm going to go work a bull riding tonight, and I'm probably going to throw some rubber on because when I go to the horn, I need to make sure that my rope doesn't slip. Right. I don't want to lose my rope and lose a 2,000-pound bull.
Right. To me, and again, this is a very loose connection of the two, but I think of it as like an automatic and a manual transmission in a vehicle. Both are extremely effective. They're great. Like if I had a Jeep and I was going four-wheeling, it's inconvenient to have a manual, but man, it sure does help to be able to pick your gear and work over the terrain and stuff. Can you do it in an automatic? Absolutely. Will you overheat the transmission? Yeah, it's possible. Can you burn the clutch up with a manual and the same? Yeah, there's all these variables, but you being a good horseman and you being smart and handy with your rope and all that stuff, all of it can be effective. And it's neat to know it all. I can't remember who it was you were telling me, but someone had their horn split, I think, with mule hide on the bottom and a little bit of rubber on. It was Jess.
Yeah, Jess.
And you could do either one.
Yeah, you can put one wrap on the top of a horn, and if it's wrapped in mule hide, you can put one dally wrap on the top, and you can slide rope on your first turn and then lock it down on the second. So
yeah, so there you go. I mean, you pick your poison, but you being a good horseman and you doing your job correctly makes the difference. With everything. So yeah, Dalton, if you see this, which I don't know if you'll watch this or not, but your drive is on the way for all the video footage. And I gave him like 7 or 8, maybe even 10 different ideas for shirts. I talked to him on the phone the other week. I said, man, you're missing the boat on these T-shirts, because I mean he must have had like 37 different little sayings, and he got a kick out of that.
Oh, his little quotes.
He was laughing at the "Hey Bill" one. He was like, "Yeah,
Bill,
we'll have to work something out on that "Hey Bill" one." I said, "Yeah, there's a bunch of them." But yeah, it was a treat having him here. I look forward to getting him back. It was a successful event, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming events. So with that, we have the Winter Series, or I think is what it's called, or something like that, coming up. Give us the details on that.
So coming up this winter, we're going to do a Winter Ranch Horse Series, Buckle Series, where it'll be the last Saturday of January, February, and March. I don't have those dates off the top of my head, but it's the last Saturday of those 3 months. And basically what it's going to be is your typical ranch horse show. We'll have the rail classes. There will be an amateur division and an open division. And what we're going to do is try to focus it on the more ranch cattle events, have some live cattle here, be able to go down the fence, do some roping, do some boxing, and try to get that going here this winter. We've got a few places around that do these types of shows and do a really good job through the summer, but we're going to try to kind of cover those winter months since we've got this cool facility. And we're partnering with Allen's Mountain Livestock on that.
Jody Toms.
And Richard. Jody and Richard are great friends and big supporters of us. And so they're going to help us do that. And before we get started on that series, we're going to have a little practice run on Black Friday, November 28th. We'll be out here and we're going to go through all of the different events and the different classes. And you'll have an opportunity to learn how they work, how they're scored, what you want to avoid, what you want to make sure you do, and practice that. So that's going to be a really cool time to come out and just learn. And it's a good time to just bring your horse and get some experience under your belt. And then you can go back during December and work on all that stuff and come back ready to go in January.
And if you're not competing, what a great opportunity to come out. I think we'll probably do a door fee, a small door fee for spectators or something like that. That would be some events for people where it's like watch and paint dry if you're not into the horse. I get that. I have mine. I'm not going to say what it is, but this would be probably a more entertaining event to watch than some of the others because of the different things that they're going to be doing in the.
Yeah, you get to see a lot go on.
Yes.
Yeah, especially in the cattle classes. Those runs are fun.
Yeah. And like there will be experience there, but there may be inexperience there. And sometimes the inexperience is just as fun to watch as the experienced people because, you know, you get a little laugh in like, oh man,
Yeah.
like, oh, that didn't work. You know, just anyways, it's going to be fun to watch that deal. So, we'll have stuff put on our website at NCHV, I am sure, with those dates. And
Yeah, and follow social media.
Yeah, mine.
Follow National Center for Healthy Veterans. Follow Bob Cahey.
His.
Follow Jacob Corwin.
Jody's probably
Jody
will have it on
Toms.
there too.
Yeah, Allen's Mountain. Morgan Fisk.
Morgan. Yep. So it'll be out there. We'll get it out there just as soon as we can. So we just had our Veterans Day event.
We did.
Another very large. I feel like we cut the ribbon and we opened the door, and we've had events back to back to back to
Yeah,
back.
this
Not
arena
small
has,
events.
No, this arena has not sat idle. I don't think
How many people were here the other night?
it was around 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, we'd have to do tables, but we had to do chairs. Audio visual was external brought in, but it was still had to be set up.
Yep.
We still had to collaborate with our team, had to get that set up. So kudos to those staff here that does watch our podcast.
Yeah. And the Patriots.
And the Patriots to the hard work that was put in.
Yep.
It doesn't go unnoticed. Sometimes since we're all in it together, sometimes it goes unmentioned, but it doesn't go unnoticed. So if you're watching this, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. It takes, like Bob says, many hands make light work, but it takes everybody's hands and everybody's feet to make it work.
Yeah, and this time of year is always super busy around here just with Veterans Day and all of the events that are going on. I mean, last Saturday we had people going
We were
16
everywhere.
different directions. You were at the race at South Boston.
We couldn't have been in two opposite environments. We'll touch on that in a minute. We're not there yet, but
Yeah, I mean, Bob was, where was Bob? He was here because of the Austin flying.
He was-
we had
yeah, we
some folks
had-
flying from Austin to
we had
dedicate a
volunteer
house.
day and
we had
and
volunteer
guests
day.
here.
Had what,
Yeah.
100 people?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it was a bunch.
Yeah.
And I wasn't here.
Or was I?
But you were in South Boston, and we just had people going everywhere for all these different Veterans Day focused events, and I ended up on the other end of the
So
East
let's
Coast.
let's talk about that. I'll talk about South Boston after you talk about where you were.
You might want to talk about South.
All right, I'll talk
Boston
about South Boston first. So South Boston Motor Speedway put on a race. I was there when I was a kid, maybe 12 or something. I forgot, man. I posted about it, but like how loud and how powerful those cars are. And they may not have been actual NASCAR level. They sure did look like it. So let's just, from my mind, they were. And I went out there to videotape them, and they, you know, when you're right by the fence, you can feel the energy off of these cars. Like you can, of course, feel the rubber spitting off the track hitting you, and the smell, and it's so loud. But you can just, it's almost intimidating when they come by. Like if they hit this wall at 90 mile an hour, you know, Lord help them, and like it could take me out. Like this little piece of chain link in front of me is going to do absolutely nothing for anybody. So we were able to go out there and set up a table with our development team stuff for, you know, to spread the word. I've been out on a few of those deals. That was probably the most interaction I've had with the public in a legitimate like conversation way. Like it's hit or miss sometimes, but man, I had more people come up to the table and just go deep in conversation. Yeah, it was.
I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about that.
It was
yet.
odd.
Really.
Yeah, it wasn't odd. It was probably divine, but it was. I was tired.
It doesn't mean it's not odd.
It is. It's both. I left tired, and I left with a sore throat because of the conversations I had, and I just had person after person. I had vendors walking up to me, sharing their story,
Really.
and I'm like, do I need to give them information to come to the farm? Like it was those kind of conversations.
Oh wow.
And so I was just kind of blown away. So I finally got time because I had to set up at 8, which meant I'd leave out here by like 6:30ish because this is almost 2 hours from here.
But they call it what? Crush 250.
The Crush 250. So it's supposed to be. That's what I was going to say. I'm not sure if they still race like they used to there because they kept referring back to the Bailey's 300, and I think this was a bigger deal than they've had in a while, based on what I gathered. I might be completely wrong, but what I was listening to, like the fans are really out today. I was like, man, you're not doing this as big as you used to, because it used to be a big draw.
And we were invited down there by the Ward Burton Wildlife
Yes.
Foundation,
Yep.
the Burton family, Jeb Burton, Sarah.
Yeah,
and,
Mark is our POC for that deal.
Right, yeah, Mark Clements, their development coordinator,
Yep.
whatever he is. But yeah, just such a cool team down there.
Very good team.
Where are they headquartered?
They're in Halifax.
Halifax, thank you.
Well, they're out of Richmond, technically.
Right.
Their little offices.
Yeah, the foundation is in, and they do just some really cool stuff to maintain wildlife preserves all across the country.
And support vets.
And support veterans. Yeah, they maintain wildlife preserves around Army bases, well, military bases, so all across the country. And that's just really, really neat to me. I mean, just that somebody said, hey, let's step in and take care of this. And, that gives them the opportunity to work with veterans, to work with, getting them on hunting trips and
fishing too, I think.
Employment opportunities and just all kinds of stuff. But really cool partnership forming there. And that's really cool that you had that much interaction.
So Jeb is the son of Ward. I'm pretty sure I'm getting this right, because he also has an uncle named Jeff, I think. Jeff, those two raced. Jeb is the I think it's called Xfinity series. It's just under NASCAR, I think. I may be butchering all that. But anyways, he was there. They were kind of like the driving force behind this deal, the whole race. Another big name, I think it was Daryl Waltrip, was there commentating and a part of it. So really cool experience. It looked like it was a really cool fan experience for everybody. But yeah, the stories I got to talk to, I had some like really legit table conversations. And then of course you get the ones that come by and like, is that free? Can I have that? Yeah. Absolutely. Good to see you. What's your name? Make them talk to me. How I am. I'm like, you're going to stay here and talk to me for a minute, But met some really cool people. So it was a good event, and it was a successful event in my opinion. But yeah, we were spread all over the place. Yep. So that was the Crush 250, and you took a little road trip again.
Yeah. So interesting deal, but some friends of General D's had asked him to be a part of the Helping a Hero Gala. Which is an organization that provides adaptive housing for disabled veterans. Really, really cool organization, just such a cool group of people. But he wasn't able to come because of the commitments that he had here. And so he asked me if my wife, Rachel, and I would go down and stand in for him at that, which was a very, very fancy formal gala at the Mar-a-Lago Club.
I will also give Jonas a picture that you sent me just to prove it. They look like they were on the cover of they look like they're on the red carpet of a country music event. It was.
So it's really funny to me because I'm sitting here thinking about in the last month, I'll probably do a Facebook post about this, but in the last month, I've gone from Maine to Florida, Maine to Palm Beach, and I've gone from that horsemanship clinic to the Mar-a-Lago Club, and then this afternoon I'm headed to Lexington for the Zebra Finals. So going from, round pins to Palm Beach to the rodeo pen, it's just like
we're multi-versatile folks.
Only God can write this stuff, man. There's no way anybody writes this stuff besides him. But just what a cool experience to just be in a room full of like 500 and some people that want to help veterans, want to spend their money. These are, millionaires, some of them billionaires, just wanting to do good and to be around them and be able to talk about what we can do to help veterans and support them and further that community. Just incredible.
Yeah.
Just really, really neat opportunity there and such a good group of people. So it was a really cool opportunity for us. Definitely not where I would have expected us to end up.
Yeah, I mean, I've realized, and just like you got to remember which pair of shoes you're supposed to wear to which event, because you could go from patent leather to Spurs.
Yeah.
In a 2-day period.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
I mean, we've done it in the last year. You've gone from a tux to a, sandy blue jeans.
Yep.
And everything in between. So, all right, let's take a deep breath and figure out where we are on the timeline here and what was next. That was last weekend.
That was last weekend.
We probably forgot something before that, but
I think we covered just about everything. Headed to the SEBRA finals this afternoon. That'll be fun.
you're there all weekend, right?
Yeah, wrap up that rodeo season there, and
It's the last one. Inside joke. It's the last one.
any of them could be the last one, Bob.
Yeah.
You never
It's the
know.
last one.
You never know. But that'll be fun. That's always been kind of a bucket list for me. There's been a lot of bucket list deals in the last few months, which has been neat. It's neat to see those bucket list deals happen and have them not unexpectedly kind of come up. So
Yeah, there is probably a different level of, I don't know if you would say satisfaction or what you want to call it, but it feels one thing to work really hard to get something, like you're grinding and grinding and grinding to get it, or you're grinding and you don't get it. Mm-hmm. But then to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, whether it's easy or hard, and then that thing come along and it's like not gifted to you because you earned it, but like whatever it is, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then that thing comes along and you're like, would I have forced this thing, or would I have gotten it out of season if I wasn't, doing what I was supposed to be doing? So,
it's kind of neat because like you can't attribute it to yourself.
Yeah,
it has to be attributed to God because you weren't working for it.
Yeah,
right. And that's kind of the neat thing about the last few months is like there's been so many situations that have set up that are just 100% God ordained. Still some things that I won't talk about yet on here, but there's some really cool things coming up next year that are just sure enough dreams. I won't reference exactly what it is. I'm still going to hold that in my pocket, but I will say that God has shown up and worked on things. One thing we haven't talked about yet is that Veterans Day this year was the anniversary of the barn fire last year. And so this past week has been a time of walking through those memories and walking through, the trauma and everybody's PTS and, different staff members and different people in our community dealing with that in their own way, helping each other walk through that. And that's been it's been interesting. It's been difficult in some ways. It's been rewarding to a certain extent. I think, we've talked a lot about the growth that we've seen since the fire in the staff and in ourselves, and I think that's true. But the memories kind of force you back into the emotions that you felt before all that growth. Mm-hmm. And so you have to sort of deal with them again and say, okay, am I still the person that was controlled by these emotions, or have I grown past that? So that's been interesting. And one cool thing for me is God showing up in certain ways. And there's an event that's coming up next year that we'll talk about when the time's right. But I got the confirmation that it will happen, and it's something that I've dreamed of and prayed for since I came here, because I saw that it fit very well with what we do. And I actually got the confirmation that we're going to host that on the 1-year anniversary of the fire. So put that in your poetic, ironic, symbolic, God-ordained, divine pocket, and do with it what you, or pipe and smoke it or whatever you want. Do with it what you will. But it was, kind of a God nod for me of, hey, I'm in all of this. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And not to discredit the fact that you still have the work you have to do along the way. It's just not forcing the things that I am very much like that, where I'll just try to make it happen instead of just do what you're supposed to be doing. And if, there'll be uncomfortable times in that, there'll be pain in that, there'll be hard work in that, but I kind of am at the place now where like I'd rather just be doing what I'm supposed to be doing and let that stuff show up like that, versus trying to manufacture it on my own.
And that's one of the biggest principles of the horsemanship that we talk about is you can force it, and you can pick a fight with the horse if he's not doing exactly what you want, or you can continue doing the small corrections, the little things. You can continue setting it up and letting it happen. That was Tom Dorrance's big deal. Set it up and let it happen. Set it up and let him find it. Versus force him into it, muscle him into it, spur him into it, whatever it is. Just keep setting it up and wait on a young horse. Now, there's times when you have to firm up and kind of set some boundaries on an older horse, but the more we just set it up, especially in our own lives, if we keep setting up, keep doing the next right thing, right? And then just let God handle the outcomes. It's wild to see the things that he sets up.
I'll play in this deal, I'll play the guinea pig here, or whatever you want to call it, because when you do that in my life, when you do that, it takes a lot of trust all the way around. And I think that's where people in the horse world and in life have a hard time with that model, because when I was learning, and as I learned horsemanship, you can either not know how to set it up, so you could be uneducated. That you have to learn that. That's the doing your part, right? Once you know it, you have to be cowboy enough or cowgirl enough to sit there and work it out, which is scary sometimes. It's uncomfortable sometimes. It takes time sometimes, so you can't do it in a hurry. It may take 45 minutes, and you can't just get off because now you've ended on a bad try and the horse didn't learn anything.
Got to know when to ask and when to wait.
Yeah, so in life and in horsemanship, it's a correct model, but it still takes a lot on your part. So you can't just quit. You can't get scared. Or you get scared, but you got to stay with it, right? You have to take the time to educate yourself ahead of time. So don't just go in thinking it's going to be easy, or God's just going to show up and fix it, or the horse is just going to figure it out, or I'm going to go back to the old way where I snub him down on a pole and tie his tail to his head and beat. There's times for a little bit of all of that. But if you want to go that route, you've got to do the education and do the work. You've got to be brave enough and have enough faith to stay, in the saddle and ride out those bucks, or ride out that him not figuring it out, and then wait. And then when God does show up, and not that he's not there in those moments, but when he does show up big and you're like, oh man, all that's worth it. And it's made you a better person in the process. Now you're a better person, you're a better horseman or horsewoman, and you can provide a better quality of you for the next go around, the next horse you start, or the next problem or trial or storm of life that comes by. You've got that experience now. So all that's not for nothing. It's for something on the front end. And then, I find that he shows up in my life when I've done that work, because there's something for me to learn there too. So
there's a really weird thing happening in me throughout all this, and I was talking to Rachel about it last night, and I said I can't tell if I'm just fatigued and I'm not feeling things the way I used to, or if this is a change in me, if it's maturity. And I think to a certain extent it's a maturity thing. I used to get really, really excited about things that I was looking forward to. And then, if they didn't happen, or after they happened, there would be a big crash, right? The rodeo blues, right? That's not happening anymore. One, I'm not, like, the adrenaline of the excitement isn't as strong. Like, I'm looking forward to finals, but I'm not, like, I don't have the knot in my gut that I used to get before a backyard rodeo. Like, I used to have a knot in my gut, just keyed up, ready to go, adrenaline pumping 2 days before. That's not happening now. But I also don't have the crash on the backside, which is nice. So I'm wondering if it's not just this maturity and levelness of being in control, not only of, like, my actions, but also in control of, like, the biochemical part of it, of just being like, okay, stay steady. Yeah, look forward to it. It's going to be cool. Think through it. Think through what you need. And just taking it step by step, and just dealing with these big things that we are encountering now in a I don't know, maybe it's just a comfortability thing of having done so many of these unexpectedly large life events.
Yeah, so Bob said it the other week in conversation. He used the word convergence. And
Convergence?
yeah, when things converge
Oh, yeah,
together.
yeah. Okay, I got you.
And maybe I've heard it before, but it stuck with me. And words do that, like when they're new. But I think it's probably a combination of things for you, like convergence, because I see it a little bit, and not as much, but a little bit for me too, because I'm not dealing with everything that you are. But when the fatigue, which is, we have every right to be tired, converges with the experience, converges with the, one of two things are going to happen when that dopamine hits and that the high and the low hits and the high and the low hits. You're either your body's either going to survive, it's going to say, crash, I can't take any more of it, or step up and say, okay, I've got to manage this. And I think it'll naturally do a little bit of that on its own. And then your common sense is going to say, I'm going to move a couple things around just to protect my sanity and learn from my mistake. And then when all those things kind of converge together, I think that's probably called wisdom.
Yeah, well, and that's, yeah, it is wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. And I was just thinking back to the neurochemical thing with the horses. So what we train into these horses is homeostasis, learning how to find homeostasis biochemically. And they're obviously not thinking about that, but it's a process of, okay, when you're put under stress and you have these high cortisol levels, you have high norepinephrine levels that raise awareness, then you have adrenaline coming into the mix. How do you find homeostasis? How do you find calmness? How do you find peace? And the answer to that is that they learn to find that safe space where they feel comfortable. And what we're training them is to find that away from the herd, to find it in working with us, to find it in responding to the cues that we're giving. And then their body starts to produce dopamine. It starts to produce
Norepinephrine.
serotonin to be able to regulate, right? So what we're figuring out is that the more of these stressful, big situations that we're going into, our bodies are learning through the training of everything that we've gone through, and God has designed us to be able to find wisdom in this, but biochemically He's created a system in which that wisdom produces a biochemical effect that lets our bodies produce serotonin to regulate that. And we're going into these situations much more even-keeled because our bodies are adjusted to it chemically.
Yeah.
So that's just a neat deal. That's kind of how that whole neurobiology of the horse works. Speaking of which, I just saw Dr. Peters is actually coming to Averett in Danville in August to do a seminar there on this. So if you guys are interested in learning more about that, follow Dr. Stephen Peters on Facebook, and he'll be in our backyard next year. So
the algorithm is scary because the book popped up on my Facebook.
Yeah.
His friend, recommended friend.
Right.
There's no reason he should be on my.
Yeah, other than that, I've been following him,
and we talked about it. Yeah, they're watching you and listening. Yeah, they're listening. It's been a week here too. I don't even want to go down that road. It's like, that triggered me. Anyways, I think convergence is a neat word. I think it applies to a couple other things too that we've talked about. So I don't think these words and conversations happen just by accident. But anyways, what are we missing? What could we possibly be leaving out?
Ooh, shoot. I just thought about one. Oh, my mustache.
Oh, yeah. You got your button on, too.
I got my button on.
I gracefully
Asked me
bowed
about
out
my
this year.
mustache.
You saw a Facebook post, divert all funds to him or Brent Steinweg on my behalf.
Yeah, Mustaches for Kids is a really cool national organization with local chapters. We have a chapter here in Lynchburg, and it's a time for a bunch of goofy dudes to grow mustaches to call attention to themselves and try to get people to donate money. That 100% of the donations 100%. For this goes to local children's charities. So there's about 20 to 30 local charities that are involved in the Lynchburg chapter. And, last year we raised over $600,000.
Yeah, it was every year has been just a little bit more.
We've grown and grown and grown to the point where 200 guys are raising over $600,000 for
in 1 month,
kids in a month, in 30 days. Yeah, so it's a really, really cool deal. Like I said, 100% of it goes to the kids. So
Shout out to Chris and Lanny. They're
yeah,
the
Chris
driving,
Boswell and Lanny Duncan.
they're
Yeah,
the driving force behind that. For the
great
most-
guys.
yeah.
So get behind that and donate to me, donate to another grower. But they're you can get on our Facebook and find the links and just
Of
help
all
out
the
if you
years,
can.
they had the Hulk Hogan shirt this year.
Yeah, of all the years that you don't do it,
I'm tired, and I'm
no excuse.
yeah. I'm gonna fundraise for others this year. I'll also give Jonas a I think the word's deprecating picture, or is that the right word?
Self-deprecating?
Self-deprecating picture
Yeah.
of myself.
Incriminating, I think, is the word you're looking for.
A friend of mine that is also growing again this year from last year. And then I'll also include Jake's picture of last year he was Pancho Villa, right?
No,
that
I
the year
was.
before?
Shoot,
You were the
coffee
coffee
guy.
guy.
Yeah, the coffee guy.
Pancho
Juan
Villa
Valdez.
came
Juan
out
Valdez. I might be Pancho Villa this year. That's a good
yeah,
idea,
yeah.
actually. I could probably pull that off.
Yeah. And then
Get a bigger mustache though. Might have to augment.
what was Pancho Villa's horse's name? 7 Legs, something like that.
Siete leguas.
Was that 7 Legs?
I think that's 7 tongues, but
Okay. Anyways, got lost there. So I'll put some pictures in there with that. We'll throw some funny photos into this podcast and let you see what last year looked like. So yeah, check out Mustaches for Kids. This weekend, and if I'm forgetting something, we'll go back to it. But this weekend, Steve Patton is going to be at the volleyball deal.
Hill City Volleyball.
High Hill City Volleyball.
Yep.
I will be at the Liberty University campus at one of the sports complexes. I can't remember the name of it, but for the Murph Challenge.
Murph Challenge.
It's the big indoor track. I think it's up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will be hosting Saturday night a concert here, which is new.
Yep.
A new event we haven't done here
Luke's
at.
last name?
Oh, it's short. Luke.
Wood?
No.
Not Bryant.
No. Rob.
Luke Robb.
Is it Rob? His 2 first names. Luke Robb. He is, correct me if I'm wrong, a Liberty University
That's
student.
correct.
And a darn good country music singer.
Extremely talented musician. Yeah.
Like really cool for this area too.
Yeah.
And I've met him a few times. I actually knew him before he agreed to do this.
Oh, yeah?
He was friends with Reed Nolan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Reed introduced me to him. Missy Reed. Reed's back in Nacona, Texas, doing his thing, starting horses. But I met him, and he came here, and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. And so he's going to be here, and I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put it out there in faith. I'm going to will it out there. Did you see who the guest speakers were for the Murph Challenge?
I did.
I've already reached out.
Did you?
They're coming to the tent. I'm getting them brought to the tent. I'm going to do everything I can to get them here. I'm not going to tell you who
We
they are.
need Chad.
Oh, well, okay. All right. So you can look online and see. So my Murph connection, who is also a dear friend of the farm, helps out all the time, said I was going to go tonight to the pre-deal, but I'm already obligated Centra dinner date deal.
Yeah. Got to keep the wife happy. She's
I told her she could take her boyfriend, but it didn't fly. So I'm gonna show up. I actually have business to take care of there now. So So anyways, so the guy that's got us connected with the Murph deal said he would bring them by the table, introduce. I want to give him the farm speech, tell him what we do, invite him both here because they both seem like pretty cool guys.
Yep.
And see if there's, even if we have to do it virtually, it might be our first virtual podcast deal if they can't, because we're also obligated. But if I could even get them virtually, that would probably be a big deal.
He doesn't live that far away. So. I don't know the first one. Chad Wright lives in.
Oh, these are actually 2 other ones.
Oh, 2 other ones.
Yeah, these are pretty well known guys.
Cool.
So, anyways, we'll see what that produces. But I'll be at the Murph deal, and then you're going to be at Zebra at
the Zebra
finals. Is the general going this weekend?
He is on his way back. He will be here this weekend, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's got to speak at Murph. Yeah.
I hope when I'm his age, I can get around like that if I need to.
Yeah.
He's
I intend
Energizer bunny.
I intend to.
You intend to?
I intend to.
Not work related.
Yeah, work related.
Work related.
Yeah. Why stop? I'm not sure.
I don't
I don't
if
see
really,
retirement anywhere in the Bible.
I want to be doing stuff. I'm just not sure I want to be working. I don't want the work attached to it.
Like you don't want the responsibility of having to earn a paycheck?
Yeah, maybe. I just want to be busy but not obligated, if that makes sense. Like if I don't show up, like he's still at a point where if he doesn't show up, like it could be problematic. Like I want to be busy but not expected.
That means that he has purpose.
He does. I want to be like
How do
purposely
you have
walking
purpose
on the
if people
beach with
don't
a
need
gold chain and a metal detector, baked out, tan.
That sounds terrible.
Like small little bathing suit. Like they're like, there's that guy again. Like that, and tea time already booked, and dinner plans booked. Like I want a busy agenda, but like if I miss it, it's not going to make an organization like come to its knees or something. Like I don't want to be that obligated. It's impressive all in the same breath, but I'm like, man, I'm not sure. Like I want the ability to do it, but not the obligation. So, but anyways, he'll be here.
I would like some time to be able to do some things that I want to do. But honestly, I saw something the other day. We have a weird system. We're going to get into a really deep thing here, but we have a really weird system in America where we like work for 30 years to do all the things we wanted to do, and then we're too old to enjoy them.
Yeah.
I would rather not do that. I would rather try to find some sort of balance where I take enough time. And I mean, you guys know me. I'm the first one to jump out and run to the beach for the weekend with my wife because that's what we love doing. We love going there. We love fishing. And I don't want to wait till I'm 60 to do that.
Right.
I want to do that now while I'm still young enough to do it, have fun with my kid. And
Well, life will show you. You're not promised tomorrow.
yeah, no.
Read the newspaper.
Yeah,
Look at Facebook.
Absolutely. And for me, you know, when I am older, when I'm in my 60s and my 70s, I actually want to still be needed. I want to still have people that I want to still be helping people. Mm-hmm. I want to still be getting better with my horses. I want to still be helping other people get better with their horses. I want to be helping people get better with their life. And I like when I say I don't see retirement in the Bible, I don't see retirement in the Bible. Mm-hmm. I don't see it anywhere. Are you going to slow down? Yeah, you're old. You're going to slow down a little.
You're going to be like one of the
You're going to have to.
What was it, Elisha or Elijah? He's like, he walked with God and then he wasn't. Like,
And then he wasn't.
Then he wasn't.
Yeah. Like, you know, people are like, oh, you're going to feel that. Like, they've told me for years, like all the wrecks and all the broken bones and everything. You're going to feel that when you're 60. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use this body up, man. It's not recyclable. Promise you.
Yeah. So in my career with healthcare, I have seen the opposite of that, and I have seen a sedentary lifestyle be just as damning and just as bad as. So,
Dude,
what have you gained if you did not
the most
use it?
broken up cowboys I've ever met were still working, shoeing, riding, roping into their 70s, into their 80s. They might have to soak their hand in a bowl of warm water.
Oh my gosh.
To get it to loosen up in the morning, but by God, they're going to do it.
Yeah. You don't have to hold your reins, just hook it on one of those.
Hook it on your finger.
One of those hooks down there.
The one with the end missing, because everybody's got one of those. But
yeah, I get that. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but I still think I'm going to angle towards the Speedo.
Hey, if you like the metal detector, you rock out, bro.
Yeah. That's cool, yeah. Sedentary lifestyle will kill you just as quick as anything else.
And keep Palm Beach.
Not purpose. Yeah, I don't know about Palm Beach, but. So we covered the weekend, which as soon as we get up from this table, we're going to go start like facilitating all that stuff. But I'm glad we had enough time to sit down.
I'm going to go jump in the truck. Remind me to catch my horses before I leave.
Please don't leave without your horses. We've got a couple people. We got a couple irons in the fire. Just if you're watching this, you may actually be one of those irons in the fire. So if I've reached out to you, schedule your time to come sit at the table. We value your input and your relationship, and we want to have you on. But we've got a couple things coming up. We'll try to continue to do these catch-up deals with just you and me monthly, just to kind of keep things, because things are just spinning like crazy here, and I don't want anybody to miss it. So,
this is kind of the official NCHV podcast, so we're trying to keep a wrap on what's going on and let folks know.
But the Lord has blessed this arena and this little property right here, and it's really been extra evident in the last couple months. So yes, we're tired, but man, we're still pretty pumped up and running off a off of what he's doing and that high. So,
And caffeine.
and caffeine, a lot of caffeine. So I guess we can kind of wrap it up there
Yeah,
if you
that's
can't think
good.
anything
Nice.
else. So
Time to get to work.
yeah, so I'll pray and we'll do it.
Let's do it.
Lord, thank you for another opportunity for Jake and I to sit down and kind of reflect on your goodness and what you've done in the last couple months and what you've got in store for us moving forward. God, I guess my hope and my prayer is that you'd help us keep you front and center as we get to do all this good stuff. It's amazing to me. I always say that, you have a plan and a purpose for us, and we get to be a part of that. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it's, belly laughs, and sometimes it's just sobbing, crying. But the fact that you're with us the entire time is kind of hard for me to understand, but I'm grateful for it. So thank you for your continual blessing on this farm, your hand of protection on each person that walks in and out of these grounds. I pray for each person that will be out somewhere this week doing something for this farm and for your glory, that you would just be with them and let them say the right words, talk to the right people, fill them up with your spirit so that they have what it takes to get it done. I thank you for a successful Veterans Day event, and I thank you for our veterans, Lord. You've called them for such a high purpose and sacrificial way of life, and for the ones that paid it all and the ones that are still dealing with stuff that come through our program and that are just on their own trying to deal with it, I just lift a special prayer up for them, that your hand would be on them. And we're grateful for everybody that has served to make this country free and great and unique. So we love you and we thank you for everything that you do for us, and that you care for us, and that you sent your son to die for us, and for the power that is in the blood of Jesus. And we pray it all in his name. Amen.
Amen.
Catch us on episode whatever, I'm not counting anymore, of the next episode of Tall in the Saddle podcast. See you guys.
Thank you, Jonas. Adios, folks. See ya.